Today we're going to make this really cute bunny craft, perfect for Easter.
For today's craft, you're going to need some glue, some scissors, a pencil, 7 popsicle sticks, a little pom-pom. If you don't have a pom-pom, that's okay. You can either draw one on, you could use a cotton ball or some tissue paper. You need some paper. I'm using white for my bunny, and then I'm making some a little flower, and these are the colors I'm using, this for the stem and the leaves. So grab whatever colors you have. They don't have to be these exact same colors, and let's get started. The first thing we want to do is start with our popsicle sticks because we want them to dry. So in order for this craft to work, these have to dry, because if they don't dry and you go to pick up your work, it is going to flop over. So if that happens, don't worry. It just means you probably A, need to add more glue, or B, just need to wait a little bit for the glue to settle. The first thing you're going to do is take 5 of those popsicle sticks, and you're going to evenly space them, just like a little fence, little spaces in between. And before you glue, just take your extra 2 and place them over top, one near the top, you're leaving a little space, one near the bottom where you're leaving about the same amount of space, so same space up here and down here. There's no really right or wrong as long as you like the way it looks as a little fence. And just make sure you like the position. If you find that you need to move your popsicle sticks closer or further apart, do that before you glue. Once you're happy with that, I like to take my popsicle stick and just put a bunch of glue on it. If you're using like a white liquid glue, this is awesome, and you could even just dot the glue right on top of the popsicle sticks instead of having to do it this way. But I find this also works, and I don't have any of the white liquid glue, so I'm just going to use this glue. You can see some comes to the other side here. You just use your finger to carefully wipe that off and just move it, or you can wipe it off later, or you can just leave it. It's also fine. Then you're going to place that down where you would like it. Whoops, you're going to notice that your popsicle sticks might move a little bit. That's okay. Just move them back. Push down when you're happy with it. Oops, just try to straighten it out. It can be a little finicky, and that's okay. Just be patient with yourself. When you're happy with that, just leave it to dry, and you're going to do the same thing with this one. So you can see I'm putting quite a bit of glue. I don't need any glue on either end here because there is no need to have it, as you can see. So it's just kind of in the middle. Lots and lots of glue. The more glue I put, I just find it gives a nice secure craft and it won't fall apart on you. And guess what? Do the same thing. Oh, I have a little bit of glue here. So I'm just going to put it at the back, if you can see that. And placing it down, push, 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 just gently, and leave it. So when you're happy, you don't want to fiddle with it because you want it all to dry, and fiddling with it won't allow that to dry. So carefully, if you can, either leave it and work over here. I can't do that because you won't be able to see me, so I'm just going to carefully slide mine out of the way, and I'm going to work on the rest of my craft. First thing I want to do is make my little bunny. To do that, I'm going to use my white piece of paper, and I'm actually going to use the lid of my glue to make a circle for the head. If you don't have a glue lid, that's okay. You can just make any size circle for your head. Just remember, we are putting the bunny on the fence, so you don't want a humongous bunny. Well, I guess you could. It could be a funny bunny. So I'm going to make that circle. Once I have that circle, I am going to cut it out. And there I have my head, and that helps me to decide what size I want for my body. So now that I have a circle head, I want my body to be a little bit bigger than that. And so I'm just going to make another circle that is bigger than the head. So I'll start, just put my other circle down here, start on one side, and just try to make a nice round body the best that I can. Looks like my pencil's having some problems here. And then just join that. You can see it's not a perfect circle, but it works perfectly for me. So I like that size body, and I am going to cut that out. There, I have my head and my body, and now I want to make some little feet and some ears. So to do that, I'm going to take a piece of paper here, white paper, and fold it in half. And I'm going to draw my ear. I start right at the bottom. I'm going to come straight up, curve around, and then at that top point, curve back and down. So here up, I curved, curve back around the other side, and I think that should be a good size for my ear. Because I folded it, I just need to cut once, and I'll have 2 ears. If that doesn't work, don't worry, just make an ear, cut it out, make another ear, and cut it out. There, I have my ears. And now I'm going to make my feet. Actually don't need much paper for this, so I'm just going to reuse this little one that I folded. So I'm taking my piece, I'm folding it. I'm going to go down to the bottom again, and this time I'm just going to come up, curve all the way around. So I went up and I curved all the way around, and I'm going to cut that out. Now I have that. I think we are good to assemble. I'm going to take my head here, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the base, glue that to the body, and then you can have a little pencil marks. So I'm just going to turn it so you can't see the pencil marks when I do my craft. So if you have that problem, you can just turn it over. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that ear and glue that to the top, to one side, and the other side, same thing. Then I'm going to glue my feet at the bottom. Okay, my bunny is done. If you want to, you could even just have your little ear fold over. You can just fold it back a little bit. You don't have to, but it's kind of just a little cute addition. And then I'm going to take my pom-pom, and it doesn't matter what color pom-pom you have. You can just put a little glue on and put it on the back. So you can see this is the back of our bunny. So we don't have to put any eyes or anything on because we can't see that. It's just the back of the bunny. And if you don't have a pom-pom, you could either use some tissue and roll that up. You could take some paper and roll it up. You can be creative with that. Now that our bunny is done, I'm going to put a little decoration beside my bunny, like maybe some spring flowers. So I'm going to cut with my green paper a stem. I might put 2 flowers, so I'm going to put 2 stems. But there we go, I've got my stems. Then I'm going to take that piece of paper and I'm going to fold it once, and I'm going to fold it twice so I can make some leaves. And leaves can be pretty much any shape. I'll just show you my shape that I'm doing for my leaf today. I want them, I think, to be nice and tall. So here I'm going to start right at the top. I want to use this whole piece. I'm going to curve around and then back down. So it's just like a curve a little bit and back in. Same thing on the other side, a curve and then back in. And then I'm going to cut that out. And there we go. I'm going to take those leaves and put those on my stems. Now I am ready to make my flower. You can make a flower in any way you want. I'm just going to show you one option. So I'm going to take a little bit of the orange and leave it to the side for the middle of my flower, and a little bit of my yellow and leave that to the side for the middle of my flower. And I'm going to make the little petals. So to do that, I'm going to fold once and I'm going to fold twice. That's going to give me some petals. And I think for this flower, I want to make it a little bit rounded. So I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to make it just a round and back, kind of like a nice round petal here. So there we go. I'm going to cut that out. I'm going to curve around is what I was going to say. Curve around as I cut that out. So there's some petals. And then for my next flower, I'm going to make it a little different. I'm going to fold once. I'm going to fold twice. Now folding once and folding twice gives you 4 petals. If you want more than 4 petals, you can do that. Just fold again or just make some more after you make these. So it doesn't matter. I'm just going to show you with 4. I'm going to take my pencil and make these a little bit tall and narrow. So I'm going to start up here and curve a little bit down. So it's a tiny little curve. You can see much different than my other ones. And then I'm going to cut those out. And like I said, if you want more, you would just cut out more of those. So I could I'll show you what I mean. So here I have a tiny little piece left. Hopefully I can show you. You would just do it again, curve around, and then cut out more, and that would give you more. Now comes the center. So I'm going to take those other pieces that I had over here, and I'm going to do the center of my flower, which is going to be just a circle. It can be a larger circle, a smaller circle, depending on what you want the center of your flower to be. You don't want it too small because you've got to glue the petals on there. So just be mindful of that. And if you happen to make a mistake, it's too small, just cut out another one that's a little bit bigger. So there we go, I've cut those out. And now we're going to glue all of those petals on the center of those flowers. It can be a little bit hard because the glue gets stuck to your finger, so just be patient with yourself as you're doing that. And I'm actually going to glue the orange as my, oops, I think I want to use the other side because you can see the pencil there. The orange onto yellow and yellow onto orange. So go ahead and make your petals and glue those on. Once you like the way your flowers work, then go ahead and you can glue those right onto your stems. And then hopefully this is dry and you can put everything together. So just be careful when you're gluing on top of your popsicle sticks because you don't want those to move. Might need to leave them to dry a little bit longer. You might be safe just to maybe put glue on your bunny and then glue your bunny down. I like to glue mine on one side and the flowers on the other, but you can be as creative as you want. You can add more flowers. You could add little ladybugs, anything that you would like. This is your opportunity to be super creative. And there you go, you're ready to create. I'm just going to show you this one here that I also created, the little ladybug, and I did one flower. So there's no right or wrong way. You get to now use your imagination. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to follow. Thanks for joining me on Craft Club for Kids. Remember, be creative and have fun.